The Four Great Inventions. China. Papermaking, gunpowder, printing, and the compass. These four inventions have been recognized as catalysts for great civilizations. The focus on these four discoveries and inventions as the most important were not made by the Chinese, but by foreign scholars. For example, in the 17th century, Francis Bacon wrote how printing, gunpowder, and the nautical compass had changed the world with literature, warfare, and navigation. In the 20th century, Dr. Joseph Needham popularized the idea of the four great inventions and mentioned that China had achieved many of the world's firsts. Paper. Before paper, Chinese characters were inscribed onto animal bones and cast onto bronze objects. Then from the Warring States period, 5th century BC, bamboo slips were used, which were heavy in quantity, and also silk, which was too expensive for most people. The innovation of paper came during the Han Dynasty, attributed to an imperial eunuch official named Kai Lun, dated to 105 AD. While there is evidence that paper likely existed before, it was his process of papermaking, using bark, hemp, rags, and fishnets that widely spread throughout China. Paper enabled the creation of lightweight books, and it was a better way of keeping records. It wouldn't exist in Europe until the 11th century, replacing animal skins. Printing. Printing techniques would come around 1040 AD during the Song Dynasty by artisan and inventor Bi Sheng. This is recorded in Dream Pool Essays by Chinese scholar official Shen Kuo. While woodblock printing had existed in China centuries before, Bi Sheng had invented the first movable type printing press. This was centuries before Johannes Gutenberg would invent a metal version in Europe. Chinese characters were put onto clay types and assembled to print a page. Now instead of writing books by hand, they could be printed rapidly. The compass. The first compass was invented during the Han Dynasty. It used lodestone, which was carved into a spoon shape, which automatically pointed to the south. It sat in a bronze plate and when moved around, aligned to the Earth's magnetic field. This compass was not used for navigation, but for harmonizing people's lives and environments. By the Song Dynasty, compasses consisting of a magnetized needle in a bowl of water were being used for navigation on ships. Gunpowder. Gunpowder was discovered by alchemists during the mid to late 9th century in their search for an elixir of immortality. But it's from the later Song Dynasty that we have the earliest written record. It was composed of charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur. It was found that an explosion could be created from certain proportions of these chemicals. When the military learnt of this, they developed weapons such as the fire arrow, which were used against their enemies. These four inventions in science and technology are the famous four, but many others contributed to the advancement of Chinese society, and when eventually introduced, the Western world